Job interviews, you know the feeling, right? Your palms start to sweat, and it feels like this one high-stakes performance where a single wrong answer could cost you everything. But what if I told you there's a kind of hidden code to these things? A way to figure out what hiring managers are actually asking? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to crack that code.
Ah, yes, the classic opener. Tell me about yourself. It sounds so casual, like a friendly little icebreaker, but don't let that fool you. This is your opening pitch. This is the trailer for your movie. Seriously, how you answer this one question sets the entire tone for everything that comes next. It's your first and maybe your best shot to frame your own story and really take control of the conversation.
So, yeah, no pressure, right? But honestly, a great answer here is a total game changer. It's the difference between starting the interview on your back foot, kind of defensive, and immediately showing them you're a top-tier candidate. If you can nail this, believe me, the rest of the interview gets a whole lot easier. And this is our roadmap. This fantastic cheat sheet breaks down 12 of the absolute toughest interview questions and gives you a playbook for how to handle every single one. We're going to walk through some of the biggest strategies from this guide. So, feel free to pause and get a good look. Ready to jump in? Let's do it. Okay, first things first, we've got to talk about your career story. And look, this isn't just about reading off a list of your past jobs. It's about crafting a narrative, a really compelling story that shows a clear path, a sense of purpose, and a real vision for what's next. Think of it like your professional origin story. So we're back to the big one. Now, remember, the interviewer already has your resume, so just reciting it back to them is kind of like reading the back of a book to someone who's already finished it. Your job here is to give them the director's commentary, the why behind the what. And here is the magic formula. It's a simple three-part structure. Part 1, start with your superpower. What is the unique value you bring to the table? Part 2, give them the proof, a real concrete achievement that shows you can actually deliver. And Part 3, the grand finale. Connect your story directly to their company and show them exactly why you're the perfect person for their future. Just listen to how powerful that is. I-scale teams, boom, that's the value. $50 million plus, that is a serious result. And then they wrap it all up with a really clear goal that lines up perfectly with the job they're going for. It's short, it's confident, and it's incredibly impactful. Okay, next up is a question that can feel like a total minefield. So why are you leaving your current job? It is so tempting to just vent about your terrible boss or the broken company culture, but you just can't. That is a massive red flag for an interviewer. So how do you answer this honestly without, shooting yourself in the foot? The golden rule here, and you have to remember this, is to always focus on the future. I want you to think about it this way. You are not running from a burning building. You are running towards your dream house. That little shift in framing is unbelievably powerful. It shows you're motivated by a new opportunity, not just unhappy with your old situation. And that's exactly what a hiring manager wants to hear. All right, now we're getting into the really juicy stuff. This next batch of questions, it's all about your character. This is where the interviewer is trying to peek behind your resume and figure out who you really are. Are you self-aware? Are you resilient? Can you take feedback? Let's find out. And here it is, the one question that makes even the most confident people squirm in their seats. What's your biggest weakness? I mean, let's be real. Those old, tired answers like, oh, I'm just too much of a perfectionist, or I work too hard, they just don't fly anymore. Interviewers have heard it all. So how do you give an answer that's honest, impressive, and doesn't get you laughed out of the room? Well, this cheat sheet gives us a brilliant three-part formula. I like to call it the acknowledge, learn, and grow method. First, you acknowledge a genuine weakness, something real, but not a deal breaker. Then you show what you've learned from it. And finally, you explain how you're actively growing and working to improve. It's a simple way to turn a potential landmine into a huge positive. And here is a perfect example of that acknowledge, learn, grow method in action. The weakness, taking on too much. The learning, realizing the power of delegation. The growth, actively coaching the team to be self-sufficient. See how that works? It's just a masterclass in turning a weakness into a sign of strength and self-awareness. And this same idea applies to other tough questions, like, tell me about a decision you regret. Just look at the difference here. A weak answer blames other people and makes excuses. A strong answer takes ownership and focuses on growth. The main takeaway here is this. Companies are not looking for perfect people. They're looking for people who are smart enough and humble enough to learn from their own mistakes. Okay, Let's gear up for the final boss battle, proving your impact. You've told a great story, you've shown you're self-aware, but now it's time to show them the proof. This is where you back up all your claims with cold, hard facts and results. This question isn't about bragging about that time you went skydiving. It's about your professional judgment and your appetite for smart, calculated risks. Are you the kind of person who's willing to challenge how things have always been done? Can you make a bold move based on good data and smart intuition? That's what they're really trying to figure out. So, how do you answer it? You tell them a story. Set the scene. What was this high-stakes situation? Introduce the conflict. What was the big challenge you were facing? Then, the rising action. Walk them through your thought process. And finally, the climax, the incredible result that you delivered. It's a classic story structure. And in the example from our cheat sheet, the result of that risk was a whopping $20 million. That's not just a number on a page, that's a game-changing outcome. This is the kind of impact that gets you hired. And there it is. It was a bet, but it opened a $20 million opportunity. That one sentence is pure gold. It shows courage, it shows strategic thinking, and it shows a focus on tangible results. That's the trifecta that every single hiring manager is desperately looking for. Okay, now for my absolute favorite part. The interview is winding down and the tables are about to turn. It's no longer about them grilling you, it's about you interviewing them. This is your chance to really figure out if this company is a place you actually want to spend your time. The cheat sheet gives us 4 incredible questions to ask. What are the top 3 priorities? This tells you if they actually have a clear plan. How is success measured? This shows you what they truly value. What do you love about working here? This gives you a peek into the real culture. And what's one challenge the team is facing? This is a great test of their transparency. These questions give you all the intel you need to make a smart choice. You have to remember this. A job interview is a two-way street. It is not an audition. It's more like a first date. You're both trying to figure out if this is a good fit. Asking intelligent, thoughtful questions shows that you're not just looking for any job, you're looking for the right job. And trust me, that is a huge green flag for any employer. So let's just quickly recap the winning framework. First, tell a compelling story. Second, prove your character. And third, demonstrate your impact. Story, character, impact. If you can nail these 3 things, you will be unstoppable in pretty much any interview you walk into. So there you have it, the secret code to cracking the job interview. It's not about memorizing a script. It's about having a powerful framework that lets you be your most authentic, impressive self. So now it's your turn. Which of these strategies are you going to use to go out there and land your dream job? Go get them.